Hello students. In our refraction chapter, now we will understand the topic of total internal reflection. Okay, just notice carefully this word that in refraction chapter we have one condition, that is reflection. Okay, we will call this topic in short TIR. So how this will happen, that in spite of two mediums present where refraction should take place, reflection is taking place. So let us understand the difference. So let us understand with the help of this diagram. Here we have taken the denser medium and here we have taken the rarer medium. These are drawn the normals so that we can change the incident angle with respect to these normals and we can see what is the effect later. So let us start now. First of all, suppose some ray is incident from denser to rarer medium. So this is the first ray which is incident. Suppose the incident angle is I1. Now because we are entering the ray from denser to rarer medium, so it should turn away from the normal. So it will show away turning from the normal. So that means this R1 angle is, refraction angle is greater than the incident angle, right? So because from denser to rarer medium we are turning, so the ray should turn away from the normal. So here refraction has taken place, refraction. Okay, after that now we will do what? We will increase the incident angle continuously. Okay, so now I am increasing the incident angle. So this is my new incident angle. So here what will happen? Just think, refraction angle will obviously be greater because we are turning from denser to rarer medium. So the ray has to turn away from the normal only, this way. Okay. So refraction angle R2 is again greater than I2 also, and R2 is greater than R1 also. Okay. So this way what is happening, whatever was the first case, the second case is, in the second case we have I2 also greater than I1 and R2 also greater than R1. Now this process we are going to move further. What will happen if we continuously increase the incident angle? One such incident angle will come where the refraction angle, that means you see from normal, this refracted ray, it will almost be at 90 degree. This refracted ray, it will come at 90 degree. So refraction angle third is 90 degree. Okay, so you must have seen what we have done. We have taken one incident angle smaller, so one refraction angle has come. This refraction angle is greater than I1. Then we have taken the another incident angle greater than I1, so R2 is also greater than R1. We have taken the third incident angle greater, so R3 is further greater than R2. So this particular condition where the refraction angle becomes 90 degree, that critical angle we will call now what? IC, critical angle. Okay, this is the critical angle condition. Okay, now if more than this IC, if we make the ray incident at more than critical angle, then what should be the refraction angle? So at IC the refraction angle is 90. So at greater than IC the refraction angle will also be greater than 90. Greater than 90 means you see from this to this and greater than 90. That means the ray, refracted ray, is moving along this path. Okay, so here R is achieving greater than 90. R is achieved greater than 90. So this condition you must have noticed. We have incident one ray from denser to rarer medium at greater than critical angle. Then ray, instead of entering into the second medium, it is returning back into the same medium. So this is called TIR. This is called total internal reflection. And then what are the conditions to achieve TIR? We should list down that conditions. So conditions are two conditions. First of all, we should incident the ray from denser to rarer, and second condition is the incident angle should be greater than critical angle. These are the two conditions. And then How we will get this IC, critical angle? So we will be taking the help of this third part of the diagram for the derivation of our IC. Let us start the derivation. We will apply Snell's law in this part of the diagram. So Snell's law. Since we are going from denser to rarer medium, denser to rarer, so we will write d mu r equal to sin I upon sin r. Okay. Now sin I. What is I here? I angle is IC. What is R here? Refraction angle. It is 90. So we will make it 90. And then you can see this side. Sin 90 is 1. So only sin IC is left. And this side, generally the rarer medium should be at the first position. So if I want to write the rarer medium at the first position, I will apply the principle of reversibility. So d mu r can also be written as 1 upon r mu d. So this way, finally, we have got the IC's answer, critical angle answer. It is sin inverse 1 upon mu. Okay. IC is what? Sin went this side. So sin inverse. So sin inverse 1 by mu we can write it. Now whether we write it single mu, it is understood that R is at this position and D is at this position. So this is the final answer of critical angle. Okay. Now there are some applications of TIR. Let us start. First one is mirage. Mirage means optical illusion of water. It is this way. Like suppose a person is searching for water in the desert area. Okay, where the temperature is very high. So what happens? He's searching the water and he is getting the illusion of water somewhere. How? Because he might have seen some inverted images. So that's why he got the illusion that water is present, but actually the water is not present. So this type of optical illusion is called the mirage. Now how does it happen? Let us understand it with the help of this ray diagram. What happens in the desert area or when the temperatures are very high? So this is the ground. Okay, this last line is suppose the ground. Now these are the layers of the air. Now the layer of air which is in direct contact with the ground, that is hotter. Okay, so this layer of air is hotter in comparison to this layer of air. So this is colder comparatively. Okay, this is colder, this is hotter. Now you must be knowing that hotter air is always rarer and colder one is always denser. Why it is so? Hotter air has the particles far apart. That's why this layer of air is called rarer, and colder in which the particles are very close, so that is denser. So whenever we compare the two layers of air, so temperature will decide that which layer is denser and which layer is rarer. So if we compare these two, 1 and 2 layers of air, then this is denser, this is rarer. In the same manner, if we compare these two, so if I call these two layer of airs, so always this will be denser, this will be rarer, because as we move upwards, the temperature will become down, temperature decreases, and temperature decreases means it will become denser. So always the upper layer is denser. If I compare these two layers, it is denser, this is rarer. This way the process will go on. So remember students, always the upper layer is denser in comparison to the lower layer. Now let us make the image formation. Suppose the observer is here somewhere. So to see any object, the ray should enter from that object into the observer's eye. So suppose this is the tall tree. From the top of this tall tree, suppose the ray has to enter into the observer. So what will happen? From the top, we will start making one ray. So let us start it now. Suppose first ray is coming this way. Now as soon as it will enter at the separation line, so we need to draw a normal to decide the bending. So this is the normal. Now what will happen? since the light ray is coming from denser to rarer medium, okay, denser to rarer, so it should turn away from the normal. So we will show the away turning. Okay, so that means this is angle I, this has become angle R. We can call it R1. Now by alternate angle property, this is also equal to R1 only. So you can see, because here denser to rarer turning was there, so R1 is greater than I. So this way, this R1 is also greater than I. So that means now here more angle of incidence has obtained from the first case in comparison to the first case. So since incident angle has increased, so refraction angle will further increase. Okay, finally this way continuously angle I will increase, so angle R will increase. So one such stage will be obtained where the incident angle will cross the critical angle condition. So angle I here will be obtained greater than critical angle. So there may be so many layers of air where refraction is continuously taking place. So at one particular pair of air layers, angle I will be cross the critical angle value. So wherever it will cross, so both the conditions of TIR will be satisfied. One, that we are coming from denser to rarer, and second, I is greater than IC. So what will happen? The ray which was coming, it will return into the same medium, that means TIR will take place. So this ray will come to the observer, but the observer, that means suppose this is the eye of the observer will feel that the ray is coming from below the principal axis. So from wherever he is getting the ray, there he will think of the position of the tree. So he will see an inverted tree. So he will get an illusion that somewhere water is present. But you must have seen there was no water. It all happened because of two things. Here refractions took place and here TIR took place. So note down the working from the next sheet. Draw this diagram. So you can note down these working steps for the mirage. So in desert area, the layer of air near the ground is hotter than upper layer. So always the lower layer is rarer. You can take the help of that diagram. When a person tries to see the top of any tall object, the ray starts from the object, and since it enters from denser to rarer medium, thus refractions take place, multiple refractions. Okay, and gradually the condition of I greater than IC is achieved and TIR takes place. And finally, the person receives the ray coming from below the principal axis. As you have seen that in that diagram, principal axis means ground position. So he thinks of an inverted image, and this optical illusion is called the mirage. So this is the first application which is completed. Now, if the principle of mirage is asked, on what principle the mirage works, so you have to say TIR, total internal reflection. Okay, now we are proceeding to the second application. The second application of TIR is optical fiber. Optical fiber, actually the diagram of optical fiber is this way. There is a inner medium that is having refractive index of 1.7, and one coating is done over that material. Suppose this is the fiber, over that one coating is done, that is called cladding, and its refractive index is kept less, that means 1.5. Now optical fibers are very long. Okay, now what happens here? We enter the light from one end of the fiber and we receive the light at the second end of the wire without any loss. So that is its advantage. So first of all, how the TIR will take place here? So what we need to do here? We need to enter the first light ray at greater than critical angle. Okay, critical angle is measured with the help of these two refractive indexes. So we have to enter the light ray at greater than critical angle, and second condition is that we are already moving from denser to rarer medium. So both the conditions of TIR are fulfilled. So this ray will not enter into the cladding. It will return into the same medium. So reflection will take place. Then again when it will fall here, here also the incident angle is same only. So that means at every incidence the TIR will take place. And this way continuously multiple reflections, multiple TIRs will take place, and whatever light ray we have entered at the one end, it will reach at the second end with the 100% efficiency. Because what is that phenomena which is taking place? That is total reflection. So that means part of the light is not absorbed or refracted, all the light is reflected only. All the light is completely reflected only. So complete light is reflected here, here, here. So whatever is the length of the optical fiber, maybe the length is of hundreds of kilometers, then also the light ray will completely reach there without any loss. So this is the advantage of optical fiber. Thus these are used for long distance transmission of light with 100% efficiency. And nowadays electrical wires are also replaced by optical fibers for long distance electricity transmission so that the power loss is reduced. You already know, we have discussed in our current electricity chapter that if electricity is to be transmitted from one end to second end, then power loss takes place of I square RT value. Since the distance or length of the wire is very big, so resistance which is proportional to length, that is also very big, so power loss increases. More we take the distance between two ends, more is the power loss, heat loss, I square RT. Okay, so if electrical wires are used, then this power loss takes place. But if optical fibers are used, then once we convert the electricity into light, the light will travel, it will reach with 100% efficiency there, that means no loss will take place. Again we can convert this light into electricity. So this way electricity are there at the two ends. Only the need is that we need the converters. So if we have to transmit the electricity from one end to another end which is very far off, so instead of using the electrical copper wires, we need to use the optical fibers. Okay, so we can use some devices which can convert the electricity into light. Then light will travel through fibers. Then again from light we can convert the electricity. This way electricity transmission can take place for long distances. Okay, so this is the second application. Okay, now as third application of TIR, we will understand totally reflecting prisms. Now prism detail we are going to understand in our coming topic. Just now let us understand the TIR with prism. So we need right angled prism. Right angled means one of the angles should be 90 degree. Now let us first calculate the critical angle value, because for TIR we will need the critical angle. So since the mu, that means the glass refractive index is 1.5, if I put it in the critical angle formula, IC equal to sine inverse 1 by mu, and mu value 1.5 is substituted. So sine inverse 1.5 is 1 upon 1.5 is 42 degree. So remember, for glass the critical angle is 42 degree. Now let us start. These prisms, when they are kept in different orientations, then they serve different purpose. First purpose is 90 degree deviation of an object. Let us start now. Suppose this is an object AB. Okay, suppose this object is AB and we want to turn this object by 90 degree. Okay, this object is vertical, we have to turn it by 90 degree. So this 90 degree deviation will be provided by the prism. So how it will happen? Let us start. First of all, we will take two rays from the top and bottom of the object. So these are the two rays which are entering into the prism. Now here you can see that these rays are entering normally. Okay, at this surface the rays are entering normally. So for normal incidence the ray does not bend, it goes straight. So the ray will go straight. These two rays will go straight. Now again, here the ray was coming in the glass, and this side it is air medium. So glass to air medium, this ray has to go. Okay, the medium is changing. This is glass and this side it is air. So we need to first of all draw the normals. So if we draw the normals at these separation lines, so these are the normal. Now if we find this angle, incident angle, so it will come 45 degree. Okay, this angle will come 45 degree. How this is 45 degree obtained? You can apply little mathematics. See, this is 90, so this angle is 45. Okay, this is 90 degree triangle, big triangle is 90 degree. So this and this angle are 45. So if this is 45, this is 90, so this will become 45. That's why this will also come 45 degree. So I'll explain you again. This is 45, this is 90, so this is also 45. So this side also it is 45, because this blue line and this red line are at 90. So if one angle is 45, another is also 45. Now you can see here we have obtained the two conditions of TIR. One is that are we going from denser to rarer medium? Yes, glass is denser, air is rarer medium. So we are going from denser to rarer medium. So first is denser to rarer medium. Second condition is that our critical angle is 42 degree and just now the incident angle is 45 degree. So you can see angle I is greater than IC. Okay, our incident angle is here 45, which is greater than 42 critical. So here the ray will not go out in the air. The ray will return into the same medium. So TIR will take place here. So this ray will return into the same medium this way. So now the rule of reflection will take place. If this is 45 degree angle I, so with this normal, this angle R will also be 45 only. So 45 plus 45, 90. That's why horizontal line will become vertical line. And finally, again this line which is entering at this prism line. Now this ray, because it is normal incidence, so it will go straight out. Okay, it will go straight. So this way we will get the rays outside. So let us see. This ray is coming from A point. So this is the image of A point, A dash. And this ray is B point's image. So here we are getting B dash. And let us make now A to B. This is the object. So you can see that this object which was straight, means vertical, now it has become horizontal. So this is the 90 degree deviation. So this way we obtain the 90 degree deviation through the prism, right angled prism. Now let us understand the second diagram. Invert the ray. So keep an object AB in front of the prism. Now the prism is kept in different position. This is 90 degree. Okay. Now the ray should enter into the prism. Now this is not normal incidence, you can see. The surface of the prism is little inclined and these are the rays. So because we are going from air to glass, so refraction will take place. Okay. So due to the refraction, the bending in the ray will take place and the bending will be like this. Okay. Again at this position, if we can draw normal, if we draw the normals and if we find this angle will again come 45 degree. Okay, 45 degree. You can take the help of again full triangle. This is 90. So this is 45. This is 90. So this is 45. So this way we will get here 45 degree angle, which is more than critical angle. So here TIR will take place. And remember, TIR will only take place when we are moving from prism to air. That means glass to air. Then only TIR will take place, because first condition is denser to rarer. It will not take place when we are moving from air to glass. Okay, air to glass is rarer to denser medium. So that is not valid TIR condition. So here TIR will take place, and finally these rays, they will come after refraction, bending, they will bend and then they will come out like this. So finally you can see A line is this line and B line is this line. So this is the image of A dash and this is the image of B. So finally we are getting the inverted ray. See, AB was A to B, this is the object. Okay, A to B. Just carefully notice the positions. Here A ray is upwards, B side point is downwards. So the ray has inverted. Now come to the third diagram, that is 180-degree deviation. 180-degree deviation on the same side. Okay, how it will happen? So this is the picture. AB object, normal incidence. Now here TIR will take place because angle I will come 45 degree. So this way one TIR will take place. Again at this position angle I will become 45 degree. So another TIR will take place and here normal incidence will take place. So finally this is A and this is B. So A dash B dash are like this. So just on the same side we have got 180-degree deviation. Earlier the ray was upward, object was upward. Now the object which we have obtained, that is downward. So this is called 180-degree deviation diagram. Okay, and how the angle is 45 degree, you can check by drawing the normal. So this is one ray, this is normal, this angle is 45 degree. Okay, this angle is 45 degree. These diagrams you need to learn very nicely. These are very important diagrams. Okay,